Hell's Aquarium, the nightmare that split North America. There was a time when the heart of North America lay beneath the waves, when the ground beneath your feet was a seafloor patrolled by nightmares. Every instinct you have about water being safer than land would have betrayed you here, in this forgotten chapter of Earth's history, a shallow sea of death, where monsters with teeth the size of daggers waded in crystal waters, where even the apex predators themselves became prey. 80 million years ago, North America was unrecognizable. The continent we know today was severed by a vast tropical body of water, the Western Interior Seaway. For 34 million years, this shallow sea stretched from the Arctic Ocean to the Gulf of Mexico, carving through what would become the United States, Mexico, and Canada. It split the landmass into two island continents that time has erased, Laramia to the west and Appalachia to the east. This was no mere channel, but a formidable marine ecosystem spanning 600 miles at its widest point and over 2,000 miles long. Yet, despite its vastness, the seaway was remarkably shallow, averaging only 150 feet deep, with its deepest trenches rarely exceeding 3,000 feet. These warm, sunlit waters created perfect conditions for life to flourish and evolve into forms that would seem alien even to our modern understanding of marine predators. The seaway reached its ecological zenith during the Campanian age of the late Cretaceous, between 83 and 72 million years ago. This was the golden era of marine reptilian dominance, a time when evolution had perfected aquatic killing machines through millions of years of adaptations. The shallow tropical waters fostered a density of apex predators unmatched in Earth's history, creating what paleontologists now solemnly refer to as Hell's Aquarium. What makes this prehistoric sea so unsettling isn't merely the size of its inhabitants, but their sheer diversity and specialization. Every ecological niche was filled with something terrible. Every hunting strategy was represented by something deadlier than its modern equivalent. This wasn't merely a dangerous environment, it was an evolutionary arms race that produced the most efficient predatory ecosystem ever witnessed on our planet. The undisputed rulers of the Western Interior Seaway were the Mosasaurs, marine reptiles that evolved from monitor lizards but abandoned land for a life of aquatic dominance. Their body design began as a variation on their land-dwelling ancestors, but quickly transformed into something far more efficient and lethal. The early Mosasaurs swam like eels, undulating their elongated bodies through the water. Later species evolved powerful tail flukes, allowing them to propel themselves with shark-like efficiency and devastating bursts of speed. Their four paddle-like flippers gave them maneuverability that would make modern marine predators seem clumsy by comparison. What made the Western Interior Seaway particularly unique was not merely the presence of mosasaurs, but their unprecedented diversity. 10 different genera coexisted simultaneously in these waters, a concentration unmatched anywhere else on the planet. They ranged from the relatively modest 6-foot Cladastes to titans that approached 60 feet in length. The smallest common mosasaur of the seaway, Cladastes, may seem almost quaint at 20 feet long, roughly the size of a great white shark. But its narrow, streamlined body made it extraordinarily agile, capable of chasing down prey through coral reefs and shallow coastal waters with effortless precision. Its smooth teeth were perfectly adapted for snatching fish and soft-bodied prey, which it pursued relentlessly, sometimes even venturing into freshwater rivers and streams, leaving no sanctuary for its victims. The mid-sized platecarpus reached lengths of 24 feet and weights comparable to the largest living crocodilians. Ironically, despite its imposing size, studies of its fossil teeth reveal surprising fragility, suggesting a diet of soft-bodied prey like squid and small fish. These mosasaurs haunted the deeper waters of the seaway, their silhouettes passing like shadows below the surface, perpetually hunting. But these were merely the supporting cast in a theater of evolutionary brutality. The true stars of this ancient horror were yet to come, reptiles that would redefine our understanding of marine predation and push the boundaries of what nature could produce through natural selection. At the apex of this food chain lurked the Tylosaurus, a creature that stretched the definition of what a predator could be. Adults routinely reached lengths of 40 to 50 feet, comparable to modern humpback whales. But unlike these gentle filter feeders, Tylosaurus was equipped with a mouth containing 32 thick, recurved, serrated teeth designed for one purpose: tearing flesh from bone. What made Tylosaurus truly exceptional was not merely its size, but its versatility as a hunter. Stomach contents reveal an animal that feared nothing, consuming plesiosaurs, turtles, birds, fish, sharks, and even other mosasaurs when opportunity arose. This was a predator without specialization, a killer without limitation. Most disturbing was its unique hunting adaptation, a protruding bony knob at the tip of its snout, reinforced with shock-absorbing structures. This natural battering ram allowed Tylosaurus to stun prey with devastating impact before delivering the killing bite. Fossil evidence suggests these monsters wielded this weapon frequently and with brutal effectiveness, even against rivals of their own species. One remarkable fossil preserves the aftermath of such violence, a Tylosaurus having crushed the brain case of another mosasaur, killing it instantly. Yet even the mighty Tylosaurus was overshadowed by the true leviathan of the seaway, Mosasaurus itself. Growing to 56 feet and weighing over 10 tons, this was the ultimate expression of reptilian marine evolution. What it lacked in the ramming adaptation of Tylosaurus, it more than compensated for with perhaps the most devastating bite force of any animal in Earth's history. Its massive skull housed rows of teeth that were evolutionary perfection, each tooth featuring two cutting edges and lateral prisms that channeled force to maximize penetration with every bite. When these jaws closed on prey, they delivered up to 16,000 pounds of pressure per square inch, 4 times more powerful than a saltwater crocodile, and enough to shear through bone, shell, and cartilage with terrifying ease. Most chilling was the hunting intelligence these creatures possessed. Unlike sharks that rely primarily on smell, mosasaurs had developed powerful binocular vision adapted for the murky waters of the seaway. They could see their prey with perfect clarity even in conditions where visibility was poor, an evolutionary advantage that made escape nearly impossible. They didn't need to smell blood in the water, they could see your silhouette from 100 feet away. The coastal regions of the seaway harbored their own unique horror, a crocodilian of such immense proportions that it rivaled even the mosasaurs. Deinosuchus patrolled the bays and estuaries, occasionally venturing into deeper waters when prey was scarce. Growing to 39 feet and weighing over 8 tons, this was no ordinary crocodile. Its body was covered in massive osteoderms, armored plates so large that when first discovered, paleontologists mistook them for the armor of ankylosaur dinosaurs. These hemispherical shields provided nearly impenetrable defense, while simultaneously anchoring powerful muscles that allowed this monster to move on land with surprising efficiency. But it was the bite of Deinosuchus that truly entered the realm of the unbelievable. Studies suggest its jaws could close with a force exceeding 100,000 newtons, 5 times the pressure needed to crush a modern automobile, and potentially surpassing even the bite of Tyrannosaurus rex. This force was channeled through robust teeth that were designed not to slice, but to crush, allowing Deinosuchus to feed on marine turtles, large fish, and even dinosaurs that wandered too close to the water's edge. Beyond the reptilian rulers of the seaway, other evolutionary experiments produced creatures equally unsettling. The open waters harbored cephalopods unlike any alive today, distant relatives of modern octopuses that, despite their soft bodies, grew to monstrous proportions. Tusoteuthis and Enchoteuthis developed a rapid maturation strategy to escape being permanent prey, growing from vulnerable juveniles to 10-foot predators capable of ensnaring fish and baby mosasaurs with their 10 tentacle-lined suckers. These ancient hunters used jet propulsion to navigate the waters with surprising speed, becoming the efficient predators of the mid-water column. Most awe-inspiring among the invertebrates was Parapuzosia, an ammonite of such impossible scale that it dwarfs all living cephalopods. Its spiral shell could reach 11 feet in diameter, contributing to a total weight exceeding 1.5 tons. If its soft body were uncoiled, it would stretch nearly 60 feet, twice the length of a whale shark. This made Parapuzosia not just the largest ammonite ever to exist, but the heaviest invertebrate in Earth's history. The waters of the seaway were further patrolled by sharks that showed glimpses of what these ancient fish would become in later eras. The most peculiar was Tylosaurus, a shark reaching the size of a whale shark but utilizing massive plate-like teeth to crush shells rather than filter feeding. With over 500 teeth in its jaws, some larger than a human hand, this gentle giant specialized in crushing mollusks and turtles. Far more sinister was Critoxyrina, the Ginsu shark, an 8-meter predator weighing over 5 tons that showed remarkable evolutionary parallels with the modern great white, despite being separated by millions of years. Its body was covered in specialized scales that reduced drag, allowing it to reach estimated speeds of 43 miles per hour. A living torpedo with teeth larger and more heavily enameled than any shark alive today. Most unnerving was its diet, primarily targeting other predators including sharks, mosasaurs, plesiosaurs, and large fish. The depth and size of bite marks preserved in fossil bones reveal attacks of extreme violence, with evidence suggesting it occasionally scavenged dinosaur carcasses that washed out to sea. Complementing this roster of nightmares was Squalocorax, the crow shark, smaller at 16 feet, but possessing serrated teeth perfect for sawing through tough tissues. Unlike its larger cousin, the crow shark developed the unique ability to attack pterosaurs as they dived for fish, showing extraordinary vision and timing. Among bony fish, none inspired more dread than Xiphactinus, the X-fish. Growing to 20 feet in length with a grotesquely large head and flexible jaws, this ray-finned predator could swallow prey over 6 feet long in a single gulp. Multiple fossil specimens preserve this feeding behavior, including the famous fish within a fish fossil showing a 6-foot prey fish preserved inside the stomach cavity of a medium-sized Xiphactinus. Even the seemingly docile plesiosaurs contributed to the lethal ecosystem of the seaway. Species like Elasmosaurus reached lengths of 38 feet, most of which consisted of their impossibly long necks containing more vertebrae than any other known animal. These specialized hunters used their serpentine necks to ambush small prey, their narrow jaws closing like traps with teeth angled to prevent escape. For 34 million years, this inland sea dominated the heart of North America, its waters a testament to evolution's capacity to produce both beauty and terror. But like all ecological wonders, it was destined to change. The seaway gradually receded as geological forces reshaped the continent. Then, 66 million years ago, the final blow came from the skies. An asteroid impact that struck near the Yucatan Peninsula, sending catastrophic tsunamis through the already diminishing waters of the seaway. The impact was particularly devastating to this marine ecosystem, with evidence of iridium found in the gill structures of fossilized fish. The cataclysm that ended the age of dinosaurs similarly extinguished the reign of the marine reptiles, closing the chapter on what was perhaps the most terrifying sea to ever exist on our planet. The ground beneath the American heartland holds secrets most will never know. That you may walk daily across what was once the floor of Hell's Aquarium. The rocks and soil of Kansas, Colorado, and Texas were once saturated with seawater and stained with ancient blood. Perhaps our human fear of deep water isn't merely cultural or learned, but something deeper, an evolutionary memory etched into our DNA, whispering that once, not so long ago, to enter the water was to surrender to monsters that time has mercifully erased.